You've got a veteran player in the final year of his contract who has turned down your contract offers up until this point. How far apart do you think both sides are?
everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Raiders going up against the Rams. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Well, Larry, there's a new stadium set to open in Inglewood in 2019, but for now, we're in the heart of the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Rams. The one running back is Gurley. He's going to get the football. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The offense on your screen now, and Todd Gurley on your screen. That is the back of the present and the future.
And what an amazing return for him from a knee injury his last year in college at the University of Georgia. Now it's like it never happened. There's nothing he can't do on the football field. And if you're a defense, that's a long day trying to prepare for Todd Gurley.
He was looking for Todd Gurley, and it's 3rd down. And we take a look now at the defense for the Raiders.
Dan Williams might as well change his name officially to Big Dan Williams. A monster in the middle, holds down the run game against any team.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Play fake here on 1st down. He's got time in the pocket. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Tried to drop it in there, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy. Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. The one running back is Gurley. They're going to give it to him running right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his man on the out route. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on third down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. Back to throw here. This throw caught right around the 6. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
There's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even add a little extra at the end with a short run.
Here's Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They come out here in the eye. So now it's first and goal. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. It's up, it's good, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he's got his man on the comebacker. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Offensive starters here, Marcel Reese, a force to be reckoned with.
We always talk about giving love to offensive linemen. How about the guys that the position's almost extinct? Fullbacks. Marcel Reese can do it all. Can block, can catch, and then after the catch, he can turn it upfield.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And Roberts with it over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And that's complete to Walford. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. That's complete right around the 8. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Carr now on 3rd and goal. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. 4 yards on the pickup. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Rams have got it back. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that last drive, a long drive. But not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground.
Let's go!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be down deep into a speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Now back to throw. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Tyler Higbee, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Seven yards to go on second down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Carr. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got to a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And now it's 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or 2 shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. I'll just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Shotgun now for Carr. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now, Carr again. Here's Wolford over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Fresh set of downs here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Carr. This will be caught at the 2. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the... And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders get a score closer.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So we come upon halftime here in Southern California with the Rams on top as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important place to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That was second down run for Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And his throw is incomplete. Roughing the passer, that's shades of Charles Davis back in his playing days.
Oh, I sure wish it had been, Brandon. Back in my day, I didn't hit anyone hard enough to rough the passer. I had a number of teammates that handled that for me.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Carr now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Raiders are back within a score. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. It'll go as a gain of 12. And the Rams are going to get a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
The one running back is Gurley. Here comes the D swarming to the line. They go nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And that's incomplete. Now on 4th down, Jack Del Rio's going to send on the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll get 17 yards there, and it'll be first down Rams.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a pickup of 21. And the Rams are going to get a first down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. An 8-yard gain, so that gets them halfway there. Now they're left with a third and 8 more. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Gurley. And some space here. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
And his kick here is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's a second down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Carr. Caught left side to Crabtree. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
On first down, Murray. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr letting one fly deep for Cooper. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And tough starting field position here.
Watch him now, Marty. Watch him now.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Their big-bodied receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams add on to their lead. They'll try and throw for it. It's complete, and he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Cooper's got it. There he goes, Amari Cooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Alden Smith there on the tackle. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Open man, it's Allen. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come up in an offset eye. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this.
Single. Don't let 89 go deep. Set. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Still 9 yards to go on 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll push the... Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now carry. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take possession. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Well, not the position they want to be in. Still a very, very small chance here, but they almost need a miracle.
Agreed. That means they got to get it to the sidelines, get out of bounds, and preserve clock.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80%.
Now look at this. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a big sack on second down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for third.
Hurry up, here we go. Let's go. Get 56.
He's back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He finds his man. It's Austin. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Red zone opportunity. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. And you, as a former defender, should know that the referees are watching this closely. Defensive holding.
They watch it awfully closely. I sure wish they'd let it be 5.5 yards like they do for the offensive guys. But in this case, they were strict with the rule.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
This is taken at the 3. Up to the 28-yard line. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now a first throw here in overtime. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Third down now following the completed pass.
Now let's go.
He'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Murray, the lone setback. And they're going to go soft on the corners. First throw of overtime for Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 14 there. And that'll be good for an Oakland first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. They get 25 yards out of that one. And it'll give the Raiders a first down. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Throwing now is Carr. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Again, it's Murray. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. And sometimes...
And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So here's a big spot for Kyle Brenza. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the upright.